And this is really important, so we're going to talk about it here in the Central Texas area. One of the top 5 reasons for a visit to the emergency room stems from cars hitting pedestrians.
Of course, these crashes can become even more common as our kids head back to school. So joining us to discuss preventing those accidents during our back to school commute is Baylor Scott and White McLane Children's Medical Center Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Dominic Lucia. First, Dr. Lucia, what are the most common risks for children who are walking to school?
It's an amazing time, Lindsay. I cannot believe school's starting already. And the common risk that we see around this time of year is increased traffic. We know when school starts, there's an increase in traffic, not only in the neighborhoods, but our main thoroughfares. Unfamiliar routes for the drivers, school bus drivers, and the kids walking to potentially their new school stops. And then you talk about small kids in an area of the country here in Central Texas where we have a lot of big vehicles. They can be hard to see, especially during those dawn hours where it's dark and some kids are out walking and finding their way to their bus stops. Finally, cell phones. They're a huge distraction, we know, to drivers, but also the kids walking to their bus stops or walking to the bus. So they're looking at the phones, not aware of what's going on around them. All big risks.
Okay, just like in communication, doctor, you need a message sent and you need it received. So what specific steps can parents and drivers take to reduce the risk of accidents? They need to be aware that kids are going back to school as well.
Absolutely. The drivers have a big responsibility. That's every one of us that are on the roads are responsible for keeping our kids safe in this community. A big part of that is when a school bus is stopped, that stop sign's out, the lights are flashing. Do not pass that school bus from either direction. You're completely stopped, you're paying attention, you're looking for the kids that are crossing, and only go again once that school bus stop sign is down and they're moving again. Then the other part is to help the kids. Make sure that they know a safe path to get to the bus stop, to the bus. Use crossing guards. Those crossing guards, I know there's one near my neighborhood. She's out there at the crack of dawn. They're heroes. They're there for a reason, to keep your kids safe when they're crossing the street. And finally, drivers, put your cell phones away.
Yeah, absolutely. Number one thing. School buses, of course, will be back on the roads. You touched on that. So let's expand a little bit. What should drivers and students know to ensure safety in and around the school buses?
Yeah, when you're in a school zone, you need to have slowed down. You need to, again, stop when the buses stop both ways. Educate your kids as a parent to stay visible. If you can't see the school bus driver, they can't see you. So that's a really important point, and there's blind spots around the school bus that can make it really difficult for the drivers that we trust with our kids. So educating your kids on that is really important. And then finally, when your kids are on the bus, try not to be a distraction to the driver. They have a really tough job, and if your kid can behave and fall in line with the rest of the kids that are behaving and help those school bus drivers make their job easier.
All right, Dr. Dominic Lucia, great advice today. We all have to do our part. I can't believe school's beginning, like you said at the top of this interview, but here it is, and we want everyone to be safe. So we'll talk to you real soon, and thank you for today's tips.